Hey everyone, I'm here to give you a little instructional video on how to transfer inventory from one location to another. We in the systems department have decided to make a change to the way that we record inventory. So rather than forcing you to do product requests for every single product transfer, from now on, if you are transferring tools, you do have to do a product request and a product request line item. If you're transferring tools, you do have to do a product request or a product request line item. However, if you are transferring sand, varnish, insecticide, or other raw materials, you can just do a product transfer and then you can do something called product consumed. I will explain how to do this in this video. But first, I want to take a second to explain to everyone what a facility and vehicle is, where we are now, and what a product item is, because these pieces are extremely important in the new system. A facility or vehicle, the reason it's called this is because this is the object that we use to store information on vehicles, so motos, trucks, etc., but it's also the object we use to store information about our facilities where we keep inventory. So if I go to create new, I can make a vehicle or I can make a facility. Jonathan and I have worked very, very hard to get all the Umadugadoos that we had in the old system uploaded into the new system as facilities. If we go to create new, we can see that first we should put in the name of the facility or vehicle, and then what is the type. So if you have maybe the Neomata office, that would be a warehouse, right? On the other hand, if you have if we have a customer that is building in the Umadugadoo Neomata, then we'd save that as a site. And it is very, very important that we check off that this is an inventory location. Okay? And then the final thing we do is we tie Neomata, the facility or vehicle, to Neomata, the actual Umadugadoo, right? Because we want to know this facility or vehicle Neomata, where is it located? Well, it's located in the Umadugadoo of Neomata. In the sandbox, which is what we're working in here, we haven't created the Umadugadoo Neomata, so I'm just going to say this is test location 2. Okay? So if you have to, you can of course create a new facility or vehicle when you're transferring inventory to a new location, a new Umadugadoo. Maybe you get a new depot, right? So you sign a new depot. So you want to say, okay, this is actually the Neomata depot. Now this is not a site. This would either be a warehouse or you could probably put it as a store, right? So the key thing to understand is that you want to make sure that you're accurately recording the locations at which we are moving inventory to. As I said, me and Jonathan have worked very hard to get all of our previous facilities into the system. But you will, of course, as you do business in new places, have to add new facilities. Okay? And you'll have to tie those facilities to either old Umadugadoos or new Umadugadoos. Okay, so we're actually going to imagine that we're building floors in the Umadugadoo of Neomata. Okay, and that'll be the location that we use. You don't have to put in Umadugadoo here. I'm just putting that in because I've got Neomata office stored somewhere else, so I want it to be clear. But when you're saving the name of an Umadugadoo, you don't have to do this, right? You can just put Neomata. But for my purposes, I'm going to put Umadugadoo. Okay. So now we've saved the Nyamata Umadugadu, and then we said it's an inventory location, so it is a place that we can move inventory to. Great. Now product items. There are currently no product items at the Nyamata Umadugadu. I'm just going to change the... Yeah. Okay. There are currently no product items at the Nyamata Umadugadu. So what is a product item? A product item is the stock level we have of a given product at a given location. So if we go to product items, what we see is that there is a specific product here and a specific facility or vehicle, and then how much quantity do we have of this product at this location. So if we go into all product items and we click on one particular product item, what we're going to see is one product, one tied to one location with one quantity on hand. So even if you have two of the same products, if they're at different locations, they need to have separate product items, right? So let's go down here. So we have compactors at both this depot and at the Nyamata warehouse. However, we need to record that in separate product items because we need to make sure that, because we move inventory from those locations separately, right? So if we move 10 compactors from the Nyamata warehouse, we want this number to change, but this number of the compactors we have at this depot remains the same, right? Okay. So now we can navigate to a specific facility or vehicle, so the Nyamata warehouse, and here we can see all the different product items we have at this location, right? So we have phones, sand, compactors, and laterites all at the Nyamata warehouse, right? We store a lot of different products here. And then if we go back and we go to this depot, we also store different products here, right? And all of these are recorded in separate product items. Our product items are our stock levels at given locations. So now, hopefully you understand exactly what a product item is and what a facility or vehicle is. If you want to see how much stock we have at a given location, you go to that facility or vehicle and look at all the different product items. And the reason why is, think about it logically. If you wanted to know how much stock we had at this depot, you would go to the depot, right? And you would see all the stock we have at that depot. I hope that that's clear, and I hope everyone understands product items are stock levels of one product at one location and the level we have, and then the facilities or vehicles. Okay? So now, as I said, we're going to change the way that we are recording information on how we record transfers of raw materials. Okay, and raw materials means sand, varnish, insecticide, materials that we use up in the building of our floor, right? We don't continue to own sand after we move it to a customer's house. We use it. Tools, on the other hand, we continue to own after we use them on one customer's house. So, let's imagine, as I said, that we are building at the Nyamata Umadugadu. And we need to now move sand to the Nyamata Umadugadu in order to build at this location. Okay, so what do? Well, you no longer have to do a product request. If you want to move sand to a location, you can go straight to product transfer. Okay? You can go straight to product transfer. But before I go and create a new product transfer, I have to know, where am I moving sand from? Right? What is the location that I'm taking sand from? Well, I'm going to take sand from the Nyamata warehouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I highlighted and copied that product item, and you'll see why in a sec. Okay, so I'm creating a new product transfer. I am going to send sand from the Nyamata warehouse to the Nyamata Umadugadu. Here's why I copied that. Now, because it was the most recent product item I went into, you can see the, sorry. You can see the particular product item that I was most recently looking at. But if you copy the name of that, then you're going to remember which product item you're getting it from. Source product item is the product item at this location that you're taking from to fulfill, right? So I am taking from the sand product item in order to fulfill. Oh, and I've accidentally put the same there, so let me correct that. I need to move sand from this product item to the Nyamata Umadugadu. So let's say I need 2 cubic meters of sand. So put cubic meter here. Now, there are a lot of fields down here that you might not be used to filling out, okay? But going forward, we will be trying to use these, and they're very, very important to understand. So when you first do the product transfer, you might want to leave quantity received and date distributed blank, because you don't actually know how much was received. You might know how much was sent, but you don't necessarily know that that was the amount that was received at the site, right? And you also don't know exactly what date did it reach the site. If you have that information, you can just fill these in. So we'll save this for now. And then what we're going to do is imagine later on I get information that yes, indeed, the amount I sent was received, right? And it was received on the same day. Okay, so it was received today. Now, a very important thing to understand about this checkbox. When you check this checkbox of received, what you're telling the system is, I don't need to edit this product transfer anymore. I am 100% sure that all the information in this product transfer is correct. Okay? Do not check this box until you are sure that all this information is correct. I am sure, and I'm going to even do a double check, even though I am quite sure. Okay, everything's fine. So I'm going to save. Now look what happens. Imagine I check this, and oh, actually, you know what? Whoops. Oh, I forgot. This was actually 1.5. Or 1. The system is going to say, no, you can't do that. You already said that this was received. After something has been received, you can't then say, oh, actually, that was wrong. Now, in the past, of course, we had to tag the product request line item. We do not need to do that for raw materials, okay? Because we're going to not do that part of the process for raw materials. Yeah? Now, since we've sent 2 cubic meters of sand to the Nyamata Umadugadu, if we actually go to product items, what we see is that the amount of sand at the Nyamata warehouse has gone down by 2, and the system has created a new product item of sand at the Nyamata Umadugadu. Right? So you can think of this as in the old system when we transferred sand or laterite or varnish to the cluster depot. Right? Because if you think about it, what we do as a company is we take sand or varnish and we move it from the quarry to the Umadugadu. Right? The next step, of course, is that the customer actually uses it up on their project. So the next question is, okay, Ryan, I've moved sand from the Neamata warehouse to the Neamata Umadugadu, but how do I then show which project, oh, and you can see this is, but if I reload, but how do I show which project this sand was used for? The answer is we have a new inventory tool we're going to use called products consumed. You can find products consumed by first going to work management, then go to the project. Okay, so we're going to imagine that it was on this project that I used up the sand. Go to products consumed. How much was consumed? I'm going to say I used 1 cubic meter of sand on this project. I need to tag the product item, so that's why I once again copied the product item, right? And that's it. All you need to fill in is quantity consumed, the project, because I was already on the project, is auto-populated, and then finally the product item. Save. Now, the system understands that this sand is used up. We no longer own this sand. So if I go to this product item, now you can see that the quantity on hand is 1. The quantity on hand is 1, and that is because the product has been used up on this project. Okay? So I need to make sure that my first step, remember, is to go to inventory, do the product transfer from the, and if we look, remember we do the product transfer from the place that we're keeping sand. So this can be a quarry, this can be anything, right? And then we move it to the Umadugadu. One very, very, very important thing to understand, you only need to tag the source product item if you're moving sand from a depot or another place that we want to keep stock. If you're moving sand from a quarry to an Umadugadu, you do not need to tag source product item because we don't have product items for quarries. We only have product items for our warehouses or our depots. And that's why for this, I did tag a source product item. But ordinarily, if I'm moving from a quarry, I might not need to do that. Okay? So I moved sand from the Neamata warehouse to the Umadugadu where I was doing work. And then I went to the project. And I marked that inventory or part of that inventory that I moved to that Umadugadu was consumed. Okay? So here we go. Under project activities, it was consumed. This is how we will be moving varnish, sand, insecticide, and other raw materials and showing that they were used on a project from now on.